I am 87 years old, and I have been carrying this secret for 67 years. I wake up at the same time every night because what happened that night never leaves me. Waking up from fear is a very strange thing. Your heart suddenly races, you're breathless, and you feel like you're dying. That's exactly how I woke up that night. 3:15. It was always 3:15. My name is Margaret, Margaret Louise Carmichael, and I'm 87 years old now. This story I've lived has become a secret to me. Nobody knows it. Only I do. Maybe one or two people, but most are dead now. At the end of this video, please follow me, leave a comment, and tell me where you live. I'm very curious about you. Yesterday, someone from Hawaii wrote to me, and earlier this week, a girl from Toronto. It's very difficult to find you, but I want to find you. My story, I should tell you about myself. I was born in 1938 in Baltimore, Maryland. I was born during a very dark time. America was going through very difficult times. Black and white people lived and ate separately. My family was a very religious family. My father was a deacon in a temple. My mother was a very quiet, very calm woman. She never spoke loudly. She told me, Margaret, a woman should keep herself to herself. She can't show herself openly to the world. There was a library in the house where I grew up. I love books, but I had a very naive daughter, very innocent. Because my mother was so protective of me, I remained more childlike than my friends. My way of speaking, my inability to understand, everything was so innocent. Even at 17, my female friends knew more about life. I knew absolutely nothing. At the end of 1956, in December, everything changed. The church was having a Christmas celebration. It was a beautiful event. White tablecloths, red decorations, candlelight. I was sitting in the back, listening to the hymns. Then someone sat next to me. His name was William Maxwell Pierce. The first time I saw him, my heart raced. He was a very handsome man. His dark skin, his tall stature, the intensity in his eye. He smiled and listened to me. After the celebration, he approached me and asked, "What's your name, pretty girl?" I told him my name. He looked at me in surprise. Margaret, a very beautiful name. Call me William. I'm very happy to meet you. His voice was very deep, very masculine, very powerful. I felt very excited too. My parents saw me and they were very worried. A man approaching me, that's a big deal. Back then, for a man to think about a girl, that meant marriage. So I blushed. I acted strangely. William noticed that and he smiled. It was as if he knew everything, as if I wasn't just some simple game. That weekend, William came to church. He talked to my father, had tea, behaved very gentlemanly. My father was very impressed, completely, but my mother was watching. Her eyes were very sharp. Then she asked me, "How long have you known this man?" "A week," I said. My mother didn't say anything, but I could see she knew things might be strange. But I didn't listen because William was giving me what I was looking for, attention. In January, William proposed to me, not in a very romantic way. He just asked, "Margaret, do you love me?" I said yes. "Would you like to marry me?" I immediately said yes. I didn't think twice. I guess I wanted to get married. I wanted to be a woman. And William thinks I look very handsome. My parents immediately started making preparations. They had janitor friends. They needed to buy clothes. They needed to talk to the church pastor. I also had a house for William. He was a poor laborer, but he seemed hardworking. He said he worked as a general laborer, but earned good money. He could support me. That was very important. On June 18th, 1957, the wedding took place. In the morning, my mother stroked my hair and dressed me in the white wedding dress. The dress was actually one of my mother's old dresses, but it was beautiful. Lace, delicate embroidery. My mother was crying, laughing. I looked like a father and daughter. She said, "I went to church." William looked very handsome in his attire. Black jacket, white shirt, black tie. When I looked into his eyes, someone seemed very strange. But no, perhaps out of fear. The rabbi, the school teacher, the priest read the vows. The rings were exchanged. William kissed me, very briefly, very dryly, but he smiled. There was food, music, dancing. It was a beautiful day. I was very emotional. I was a married woman now. It was something I had dreamed of. William and I moved into an apartment on the outskirts of town in a very cheap location. 3 rooms, 2 small, 1 medium sized. The living room was very small, the kitchen even smaller. The toilet wasn't outside, but it was very old and broke down very often. There was no hot water at all. We heated ourselves with a fireplace. The electricity went out frequently, but I was happy about it. This is my home, the home William bought for me. Back then, I was a very thoughtless wife. Every morning I would get up and wash William's clothes. On a hard wooden board, I'd struggle to get the soap in. The soap was very thick. My hands would get very hard and hurt a lot, but I made the laundry very white, very clean. William was pleased. At lunchtime, I had to feed him for 5 people, and we often had guests. Fathers, William's friends. I'd bring them lake water, bread, and meat. Dinner is so difficult. Cooking the meat, frying the potatoes, preparing the vegetables by the fireplace. I had to finish everything by 6 because William was coming by 6:30. The fear of dinner is the most tense moment in our relationship. If dinner is late, William becomes very quiet. But I know his silence is very bad because silence means an angry man. David was born in 1958. It was a very painful birth. The nurse was trying to teach me how to breathe, but I was so scared, in so much pain, for hours. But then, when I saw my son, it was as if everything was over. He's such a beautiful baby. Black hair, my eyes. William is so happy. He has a son, a baby boy. His happiness makes me so happy. When he holds him to his chest, I cry. He cries too. It's such a beautiful moment. Then feeding the child became very difficult. Night shifts, daycare, laundry. William helps a little, but not much. Men don't understand that back then. He works, brings in money. I take care of the child. I take care of the house. It's our role split, and I accept it because I think it's the right thing to do. Helen was born in 1960, a girl. Perhaps it was a much easier birth because I already knew what a vessel is, how to behave, how to breathe. Helen was a beautiful baby, like blonde hair, bright eyes. David became her older brother. I loved him very much. 2 children, a home, a husband. I think I am a successful woman. But William started to change. At first, he was very kind, very talkative, very caring. He would ask me every day how I was. How was dinner? How was it with the children? He would touch my shoulder, my hand. But then, slowly, as the weeks went by, as the months passed, all of that slowly began to end. Winter passed. Spring came, summer came. William started coming home later. Not 6:30, but 7, 7:30, 8. And I wait and wait, put the children to bed, and William doesn't come. Then he comes, says nothing, just eats and lies down. I want to talk to him, but he doesn't answer at all. His eyes are so strange, so distant. I tried talking to him. William, are you all right? Is something wrong? He looks at me, his eyes as if I were a stranger. Nothing, he says, just tired, but I know something is wrong. I know because if a man changes a woman, he knows it. But what can I do? What is my husband doing to me? In 1964, someone said something about me. The neighbor, Mrs. Foster, asked me, Margaret, are you all right with William? She asked very strangely. I said, yes, I'm fine. She looked at me in a way that I knew something had been said to someone. Mrs. Foster was a very observant woman. He doesn't seem well, she said. He's walking around late at night. He's shouting. He's talking. Very strange things. I was very worried. The bathroom is Foster very close to us. How close? Not even a mile. So William goes out at night and wanders around. What does that mean? Where is he going? What is he doing? But I didn't ask because I'm so afraid of him. I'm afraid because I know what he'll do. I don't know what he'll do. In 1965, David started school. He's a very smart boy. His teacher said he learns very quickly. Helen is younger, but a very beautiful girl. She's clingy, always clinging to me. I cling to her too because we protect each other. I protect her in that sense because she never sees her father. William comes home late at night and leaves early in the morning. The children often don't wake up. They never see their father. That year, in January, William was asking me strange questions, as if the doctor were asking me, Margaret, are you all right? I said yes. Are you happy? I said yes, but I was lying. I wasn't all right at all. I wasn't happy at all. I was very scared, very worried, and very lonely, alone at home with the children at night. When the lights were off, I was very frightened. I don't know what this fear was, but it was there. February arrived. William started behaving very strangely. He wakes up at night, gets out of bed, walks around the room, and whispers. Sometimes I can almost hear what he's saying, but it's very quiet because I don't understand what he's saying. I keep my eyes closed because I'm very scared. If I'm awake, I want to see what he'll do. I don't know what he'll do. Then in March, I experienced the first event. The fear. At 3:15, I woke up for some unknown reason. There was no sound, no movement, but I woke up very quickly, very suddenly. My heart started pounding immediately. I opened my eyes slowly. The darkness was very deep. There was no light. There was no moon either. Everything was very black, very frightening. And then I saw him next to the bed. He was standing there, very, very quiet, not moving at all, just standing there and looking at me. My heart started beating very, very fast. Tap, 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 so fast. I wanted to breathe, but no breath came out. So scared. A burglar? A bad person? I was so scared. But then my eyes adjusted to the darkness, and I saw his face. William. It was William, but not William. His eyes were so different, so distant, so empty. It was as if someone was living inside another person, but it was William, my husband, William. I didn't say anything. I was terrified. I couldn't make a sound. I just lay there watching him, and he watched me for a few minutes, a very long few minutes. Then, as if nothing had happened, he turned around, went back to his bed, and lay down. I was done for, but he wouldn't let me sleep that night. I sat and waited, my heart pounding. Why did he do that? What did he do? Why was he watching me? Morning came. William got up, acted normally. He ate biscuits, drank coffee, went to work. He didn't say anything. He didn't say a word. Am I crazy? Was I hallucinating? Was it a dream? But I know very, very well it wasn't a dream. It was very real. Very, very, very real. The next night and the next and the next, it's the same thing. 3:15, William gets up, comes to the bedside, stands there and looks. Every night, every blessed night. 3:15, like clockwork. As the truth began to emerge, it became clear that what happened wasn't just a single mistake. Every document, every official letter revealed that a detail previously overlooked was actually part of a larger plan. It slowly became clear how a life shared with trust for years had been unknowingly steered in a different direction. The hardest part was that it had been done not by a stranger, but by the person closest to them. Looking back, one begins to notice small signs, behaviors that seemed insignificant back then now become much more meaningful. Once trust is shaken, only questions remain. Most of these questions remain unanswered. Those that are answered only cause more pain. Although the material losses are significant, the real devastation occurs in the emotional realm. Even self-confidence is affected by this process. Each new piece of information increases the weight of the previous one. Despite this, one must remain standing, because stopping means accepting everything as it is. And in this story, acceptance is not synonymous with giving up. This went on for 7 months. 7 months. From early January to late August. Every night at 3:15, William gets up, comes to the bedside, stands there and watches me. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't touch me. He just stands there. I pretend to be asleep every time because I'm so scared. I don't know what he'll do. If I wake up and tell him, what will I say? Why are you watching me? Then what will he say? Maybe he'll hit me. Maybe he'll leave me. Maybe he'll do something to the children. I'm very, very protective. This fear started making me very sick, physically sick. I can't eat. I feel nauseous all day. I'm starting to lose weight. Clothes are getting too big. When my parents see me, there's astonishment in their eyes. Margaret, you look so thin, my father says. My mother doesn't say anything, but she looks at me and I know. My mother knows everything, but I can't say anything. I can't say anything because I feel ashamed. Ashamed because if I say something, what will everyone think about William? That's too bad for a girl. If the guy is weird, it's the girl's fault. Sleep is getting worse. I stay awake out of fear. I start waking up at 2:45 because I know when he's coming. 2:45 to 50. 3 o'clock. 3:10, 3:15, and then he comes, and I lie down, pretending to sleep, but I haven't slept at all. I'm awake, very scared. I try to close my eyes, but I hear everything. I listen to his footsteps. I listen to his breathing. I listen to his gaze. Yes, his gaze is audible in a very strange way, but I hear it. David and Helen notice. The children are very smart. Their mother isn't happy. I know the child. David looks at me and asks, "Mom, why are you crying?" I said I wasn't crying, but I am crying. My eyes are always teary. Too little sleep, too much fear, too much worry. My eyes are teary. Helen is very clingy. She's always clinging to me as if I'm going to leave. She's afraid of being away from me. I'm afraid too. I'm very afraid too. In April, my sister Elizabeth came to visit me. When she saw me, she was very surprised. "Margaret, you look very ill," she said. I asked if something was wrong. Elizabeth is a very observant woman. She has 4 children. She has life experience. She asked me specifically, "William, are you all right?" To which I quickly said I'm fine, but Elizabeth looked at me very deeply into my eyes, and she knew I was lying. "Margaret," he said very quietly, very seriously, "talk to me. What's wrong?" But I didn't want to say anything. I felt so ashamed. Elizabeth pulled me closer. I'd broken so many hearts. She asked me, "What if he hits you? What if he treats you badly?" "No," I said. "He never hits. But he's strange. Very strange." Elizabeth looked at me very sharply. "What is that strange thing?" But I couldn't say anything. I was so scared, so ashamed, so embarrassed. After Elizabeth left, I got much worse. The worry is increasing. When will Elizabeth tell them not to? Will she tell my parents? Will they all tell? Maybe William will hear about it and be furious. Maybe he'll leave me. Maybe he'll do something to the children. These fears are immense. I haven't slept at all. I'm just worried. In May, William started behaving more strangely. At night, he wouldn't just watch. Sometimes he would just crouch down beside the bed for 15-20 minutes. I was very scared because I didn't know what he was going to do. He spoke very quietly at first. A whisper. I said what it was, but I didn't understand. But I wanted to hear it. The children took it away once, and I listened very carefully. "Forgive me," he says. "Forgive me. Forgive me for what I've done. I'm a very bad person. I'm very bad." Then he cries very quietly. Very, very quietly. As if he's crying so no one will hear. "Debt," he says. "A huge debt. A very, very huge one. I don't understand." "Debt? What debt? Does William have debt? Money debt?" But he brings money. What he said at the beginning is very strange, very odd. At the beginning of June, I made a decision. I need to know. I need to know the truth because I'm so scared, so worried, so sick. This can't go on. It's true, I can't look after the children. I'm becoming a terrible mother. I need to know what she's doing. Why is she doing this? What is this debt? One night, I made a decision. I really didn't sleep. I drank coffee all day, lots of coffee. I didn't sleep at all. I didn't sleep until morning. I went to bed at 9 o'clock, but I didn't sleep at all. I keep my eyes closed, but I'm very awake. I'm waiting. It's past 2. It's 2:40. It's 10 minutes to 3. My heart is pounding inside. It is 3:15. William is getting up. I can hear him. He gets out of bed, stands up, takes steps. I lie very, very quietly. I take very deep breaths, like a sleeping person. He's a very good actor. Did the children learn from playing games? Maybe, but I'm very scared because I know he's going to say something now. Because he knows I'm not awake. He'll speak this time. I know it. William remains crouched. So close, I am drenched in sweat, sweating from fear. I don't know what I shouldn't do. If I move, he knows I'm awake. I lie down, pretend to be asleep, not moving, not making a sound. William is so close. I can hear him. I can hear his breathing. So heavy, so deep, so nervous, so tense breathing. "Margaret," he said, very quietly. A whisper, "Margaret, forgive me." Then he started to cry very quietly, sobbing very, very quiet sobs. "I was so helpless," he said. "I was so scared. Maybe I would have died. Maybe they killed me. What? What is this? Kill? Who would kill whom?" My heart is beating very, very fast. I don't move at all. I'm listening. $3,000, she said. 3,000. I don't have it. I'll never pay it. Mr. Corwin told me that if I don't pay, he'll fine me. He'll burn me. He'll do terrible things to me. I'm so scared, Margaret. I'm so scared. Then she cried a lot, very deeply, very badly. Now I understand. William is in debt, a huge debt. Who is this Mr. Corwin? What is this money? Why is William so frightened? I am very, very worried. Worried because this is very serious. This is very, very bad. I don't know about it. William starts off very sweetly. There's an offer, he says. Corwin made me an offer, a terrible offer, but I accept it. I was terrified. Then he speaks very quietly, very quickly, as if he feels very bad. Helen, he says. Helen, our daughter, Helen. What is Helen? Helen is our daughter. She's little. She's 6 years old. What is this about? I'm very, very scared. I don't know what to say. Corwin, he said, wanted a very young girl, a beautiful girl. She will be his wife in the future. Helen is very beautiful, very intelligent. Corwin, he saw Helen at the church picnic and said, I love her very much. If I give Helen to him, if I promise, he will forgive the $3,000. He will forgive it completely. I will not give anything back. I'm going crazy. I want to scream. I want to stand up. I want to hit William, but I'm not moving at all because I need to listen. I need to listen. I'm very, very, very scared, but I need to learn everything. William was crying a lot. He started crying very badly. I promised, he said. I signed it. Corwin made a paper. I signed it. When Helen is 14, he will take Helen. He will marry her. I promised, Margaret. I promised our daughter. I am a very bad person. I am a very bad father. Don't cry so much, so much, so much. Don't sob so much. I'm so angry. I'm so hard. I'm so scared. Helen, my beautiful, very old girl. Was I given to her, to a man named Corwin? What kind of man is he? How old is he? I don't know. William stands there for a very long time, cries for a very long time. Then, very slowly, very with difficulty, he gets up. He takes steps. He goes back to his bed. He lies down. He says nothing more. I lie there for many hours very, very silently. I don't cry. I don't cry because I'm too angry. I don't cry because I'm too distressed. I don't cry because I'm too confused. Morning comes. William gets up, eats a biscuit, drinks coffee, goes to work. It's all normal, as if nothing happened. I'm so angry. I'm so angry. I'm sitting in the kitchen doing nothing. David looks at me. Mom, what's wrong? He says, nothing. I say, just very tired. I'm doing the math. Helen is 14. That's 8 years. I have 8 years. 8 years to sort this out. 8 years to get William to talk. 8 years to escape. 8 years to protect my children. Is 8 years a lot? Not a lot. Not a lot. But I have it. I can wait much longer if necessary. But I can't wait. I can't wait because Helen knows this thing. I don't know how, but she knows. Maybe someone told her. Maybe a neighbor overheard. Maybe William told someone else at the beginning. Because Helen has changed. Helen has become very quiet. Helen acts as if she's very scared. Helen always clings to me. She stays very close to me, as if I am going to leave, as if I can't save her. When I looked at my child, I was very, very broken because I know what it is. I know her father sold her. I know she's going to be married to a very old man. She's 8 years old. 8. What can an 8-year-old child understand about that? But she understands. In July, I thought a lot. I planned a lot. I know I can't get anything more from William. I can't get anything from William because he's so scared, so weak, so bad. He won't change anything. He'll come every night, watch me, and then say nothing. He'll punish me by saying nothing. I've made my decision. I'm going. I'm going to take the children and leave. I'm going to leave William. I'm going to get out of this house. I'm going to live somewhere else in another city. I'm going to work. I'm going to support myself. I'm going to protect Helen. I'm going to protect David. I'm not going to give anyone to Corwin. At the beginning of August, I packed clothes in the bag. I took out the money I had hidden. I had secretly saved up under a biscuit box. About $30. Not a lot, but enough for the bus tickets for the kids. I made a plan. I know where I'm going. My sister Catherine, he lives in Detroit. He would buy things for me. He would pick up the kids. He would help me. One morning, very early, I told William, I'm leaving. I said, very firm, very quiet. Me and the children. William was very surprised. What? He said, where are you going? I'm leaving. I said, I can't live with you. I'm leaving. William was terrified, very, very scared. Margaret, please, please, will I forgive you? I'll change. I'll care. I'll keep Helen away from Corwin. I promise, but I know it's a lie. I know he won't change. He's too scared, too weak. He can't face it, to Corwin. On August 13th, I took the children and left. I got on a bus. I went to Detroit. I stayed at Catherine's house. William didn't follow me. He's very scared, very weak, very ill. He couldn't follow me. He doesn't know where I am. Maybe he's looking for me, but he hasn't found me. Years passed. I worked in Detroit. I became a nurse. I raised my children. David became very intelligent. Helen became a very beautiful, very scared, but beautiful woman. Corwin never found her. I told David my son was very angry with me. He said very bad things about his father. Helen had so many problems. She was very afraid of men. Marriage is very difficult, but she lived through it. She got over that fear. She escaped. Life doesn't continue as before after what happened. Even daily habits lose their meaning. People begin to hesitate even when making the simplest decisions. The once secure system now becomes a structure that is questioned. This questioning, though exhausting, is inevitable because it's impossible to move forward without confronting the truth. As official processes begin, the extent of what happened becomes clearer. Every step requires patience. Sometimes it feels like there's progress. Sometimes everything stays the same. This uncertainty is challenging. However, it is precisely at this point that an inner resilience develops. The need to stand on one's own 2 feet grows stronger. Seeking support begins to be seen not as a weakness, but as a necessity. The new connections formed during this process don't completely replace what was lost, but they provide strength. I am 87 years old today, and I still wonder what happened after this escape from life. I never saw William again, but I kept hearing about him. 2 years later, someone told me William had passed away. Maybe a heart attack, maybe suicide, who knows? I was so numb. He was my old man, but I feel so distant. He died for me years ago. Corwin, however, disappeared in a very strange way. He never found Helen. I always wondered, perhaps William had a legal agreement in writing, but it was never implemented. Perhaps Corwin, he forgot about Helen. I always wondered, perhaps William had a legal agreement in writing, but it was never implemented. Perhaps Corwin, he forgot about Helen. Maybe Helen didn't fall into the trap. Thank God. In Detroit, I worked very hard. Nursing saved me. Lots of hours, very hard work, but I became independent. I sent my children to college. David became an engineer. Helen also became a nurse, like me. She's a very good nurse. She takes very good care of the children. She protects the children deeply, maybe because she lived under protection. My sister Catherine, she never questioned me. She treated the children like a mother. She loved me very much. When she saw Helen when she was 8 years old, she knew so much. She didn't say anything. She just hugged Helen and said, "You're safe." I think those words saved Helen a lot. Years passed, 10, 20, 40 years. I grew old. I became 1.5 people. I gained an identity. I gained security. I gained respect. I met other men. One man, Thomas, loved me very much. Thomas wasn't William. Thomas told me every day, "I love you." Thomas wanted to hug me. Thomas wanted to talk to me. But I could never marry Thomas. I became so afraid of marriage. I couldn't forget William. Before Thomas died, very sadly, he asked me, "Margaret, why won't you marry me?" I cried. I said, "Because I'm so scared. I'm so hurt. I can't trust anyone anymore." Thomas spat out a lot. He asked me, "What's William's name?" I was surprised. "How do you know?" I said. He smiled very sadly. "Because you still say his name in your dreams." Yes, I still don't see William in my dreams. In my dreams, I wake up at 3:15. In my dreams, I see a shadow next to the bed. In my dreams, I'm very scared. In my dreams, I try to save Helen, but I never manage to save her. Then I scream. David told me on the phone, "Mom, you scream a lot in your sleep. Are you sleeping?" "Yes," he said, "but I'm not sleeping. I haven't slept at all in years." My children ask me many times, "Mom, what happened to you? Why are you so scared?" I didn't tell them. I wanted them to live well. I didn't want to burden them with this. But David is very smart. He investigated. He found out after 2 years of research. He became very angry. He said, Mom, what happened to you isn't just bad. It's very bad. It's very cruel. My father is very bad. I asked David, what are you going to do to me now? David became very serious. He said, I love you, and I love you very much. I want you to be safe. I want to keep you safe. And I cried because David's words saved me so much. Because I knew I was safe. I was finally safe. Helen remained very, very vocal. She took great care of the children, but she never spoke of her father. She just cried, sometimes silently, and I held her hand. She told me, Mother, without you, I would have died. Without you, I would have been nothing. You saved me. Now, I'm very old. I'm 87 years old. I've become very absurd. I've become very opinionated. But I want to tell this story because I know there are many women with men like William. Many women are in fear. Many women are silent. Many women are caught in veiled savagery. I know I was very lucky. I was able to escape. My children were able to escape. But many people can't escape. Many people stay there. Many people die. Many people lose their children. That's why I'm telling this story. That's why I'm revealing my secret. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You listened to me. You listened to the story I told. Write me a comment. Tell me where you live. Tell me what time it is. Tell me how my story affected you. Because I know I'm not alone. There are many women like me. I love my children very much. I love my sister Catherine very much. I love my friends very much. I love the life I live in Detroit very much. Yes, I have been through a lot of hardship. Yes, I have been hurt a lot. But I lived. I laughed. I loved. I worked. I read books in the library. I listened to music. I sat by the sea. I saw nature. William couldn't take anything from me. Corwin couldn't take anything from me. His fear couldn't take anything from me. I worked. I lived. I smiled. I am here today, very old, very wise, very secure. I saved Helena. I protected David. I gave no child to Corwin. This last thing, if there are many girls listening to this, many of them older than me, I want to pass on the child's writing to me. I want to teach the child to get help. Because I know when I was very young, I couldn't speak. I was very scared. But when I got old, I spoke. It's too late. I wish it wasn't too late. If you are a child and you are living in fear, speak up. Make a sound. Work. Run away. Because you are very precious. You are very important. You will be loved very much. Nothing should be done to you. Nothing at all. Maybe you're a girl and you're married and you're very scared. Run. Take your children and run. I did it. I ran away with $30. I became a nurse. I succeeded. You can too, because you are very precious. You will be loved very much. Nothing should ever be done to you. Maybe you're a boy and you're very scared too. I know it's hard to scare men, but you have to protect your child because the child is very scared. The child is looking at you. The child is asking with their eyes, are you safe? I see it in their eyes. I wanted to tell this story because I shouldn't be silent. I always felt like I should have been silent. Silent for 30 years. Silent for 40 years. But now I'm speaking. I'm 87 years old and I'm speaking. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening carefully. Thank you for leaving a comment. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for sending me super thank yous. Because this money helps me build libraries. Because I know libraries save girls. Books saved me. Helen, David, Catherine, Thomas, and all of humanity so much. I am so grateful to be alive. I am so grateful to have the people I love. I am so grateful to be here today, to have lived a life and a half. Tomorrow I will tell another story, another woman, another fear, another salvation. Because there are so many stories, because there are so many women, because there are so many fears, because there is a need to make our voices heard. Lots of love to you. We'll see each other soon. If you've heard this far, you're not alone. I'd love for you to write in the comments where you watched it. Maybe I'll tell your story someday. This story may end here, but what it tells will resonate in the lives of many people far longer. Because it's not just an event from the past, but it reveals a truth that is difficult to notice but has a profound impact. Even in relationships built on trust over many years, some things can progress silently. People get used to someone who is with them every day. They don't question their presence, and often they stop paying attention to the details. Yet, Life sometimes holds lessons hidden precisely within these habits. One of the most important lessons to be learned from this story is that control isn't limited to emotional bonds. Trust is valuable, but completely ignoring it can have serious consequences over time. Sharing responsibility in relationships isn't just about daily life. It also includes financial matters, decision-making processes, and long-term impacts. One shouldn't completely disengage when trusting someone they love. Asking questions, trying to understand, and remaining involved in the process are not signs of suspicion, but rather signs of awareness. Awareness is crucial at this point. Some details may be overlooked in the flow of life, but pausing occasionally to look at the big picture protects you. Documents, accounts, responsibilities, and shared decisions are the unseen but most solid foundations of relationships. When these foundations are neglected, the consequences can emerge years later. And then, the experience is not just a financial loss, but also a profound disappointment. This story shows that it's possible to get back on your feet after everything that's happened. When everything falls apart, people may feel alone and helpless. But this feeling doesn't have to be permanent. With time, it's possible to seek support, ask for help, and build a new life. Starting over isn't always easy, but it's not impossible. The important thing here is not to be ashamed of what happened and not to blame yourself. Some mistakes are not individual. They are the result of systematic and conscious behavior. A person may not foresee everything beforehand. This doesn't mean they are weak. On the contrary, the resilience and recovery they show afterward reveal their true character. This story also reminds us of the power of solidarity. Talking to people who have experienced similar situations and realizing you're not alone is healing. Sharing lightens the burden and gives meaning to what you've experienced. Guiding others also helps heal your own wounds. Life isn't always fair. Some people suffer the biggest blows in the very places where they feel safest. But these blows don't mean losing your way completely. Sometimes we change direction, sometimes we slow down, sometimes we stop. But the journey continues. The most powerful message this story ultimately conveys is this: being conscious is not the same as being afraid. Asking questions is not a sign of insecurity. Protecting oneself is not selfishness. These are, in the long run, indicators of respect for oneself and one's life. And perhaps most importantly, not every event is the end. Some open the door to a new beginning, towards firmer steps, clearer boundaries, and a more conscious perspective. This story reminds us of exactly that.